And greetings, everybody. Charlie here, otherwise known as Keith. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. I want to remind everybody, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. There's a PayPal link down below for anybody who wants to share some love. And of course, the StreamYard link is down there for anybody that wants to join the panel. Today, we're going to talk about Authors Guild. It's a developmental stage that I'm in, and that's the purpose behind my various different channels on YouTube. Providing a creative set of platforms to gather information for publication. So we're going to get right into it. I've got something that I created here a while back as a foundation to explain what I'm talking about. So we're going to watch this, sit back and have patience. Hope you enjoy it. Hope it doesn't bore you. And at the end of this video, there's going to be an explanation of the credit rolls. Credit rolls. Pay attention, folks, please, and thank you.
Welcome once again to our Heroic Imagination project as we delve into the insanity in the metaverse.
And like I said, this is one of my first productions here, so I don't know what happened to the sound there, but happens a couple times. I'm not the greatest at it yet at this point. And like I said, it's in development, so I can only hope to do better. Please support.
Who's your daddy?
And I don't like the word rule.
Well, if we don't like the word rule, let's call it leadership.
Leadership in government is political power, and political power is an official form of antagonizing the people.
What magazine did you say he edits?
A commentary on current events.
Pardon me.
Current events, Hitler's willing executioners. None of us are perfect.
When do you want it? How do you want it? Who's your daddy? What about your mom?
And this is one of my channels that I created as a character bit specifically for the Heroic Imagination Project on my other channel, @Paul Jr., which is where I pose all the psychological data that I'm researching to help people understand how we act and interact with each other.
People talking. I talk, thousands watch. You talk, 100 watch.
Even
I'm
know.
sorry, I didn't realize I was up here. I was
1,000
backstage
watch.
restreaming. Fuck slaves. I do thousands of hours of broadcasting a year. You fuck slaves come on for 20 minutes to an hour every few days. Stop comparing us.
While he sits there and compares himself to everybody else, I am you and you are me. We are the same. I've been through what you're through. Yet when we speak, it's a different thing. I find that hard to take in and accept.
It's a
It seems narcissistic.
whole different format. It's a whole different energy and experience. It's a whole different structure, a presentment, idea, the whole nine, right?
And see, he got his subscriptions or his subscribers from a video that went viral on multiple different channels and pumped him up. And then instead of continuing on in that venue with those kind of videos, which is where he got the views, he switched to a trigger session of psychological format.
I don't have a formalized official broadcast where I'm the expert bringing on a guest to reveal the truth of how to save everyone from themselves. Different format. Dude, do you realize we never got to breaking slave news with all this nonsense? All right, give me the final word. I'm out of here. We'll be back tomorrow, as always, 7 days a week, 1 p.m. DT, on or about, if not around 2, somewhere in that area.
And this is how the bit started out. Remember, Charlie Chaplin was in silent movies, but he also did some spoken movies. One of the greatest is The Great Dictator, where he portrayed Hitler himself.
It's a bit.
Broken headset. Sign language.
Hey, dumbass.
Humble, baby. Purple.
I think we just got womped on in sign language.
And this is just a little clip or a little video I put together of content that was from other platforms, so I could create from the very drama base that everybody else seems to draw from. But I'm not doing it to try to create any drama, but I'm using the drama as an educational aspect, again, for the Heroic Imagination Project. This is Philip Zimbardo, who did the Stanford Prison Project. He was professor emeritus at Stanford when he did that, and it was unsuccessful. He had to cut it short, and nowadays he's running the Heroic Imagination Project. And this is what I'm intending to put forth in the local community here as a implementation to help this community become better. We'll think of each other as heroes rather than trespassers. It's getting sickening. It's too many people behaving in a very unscrupulous manner, and we need to right that.
It could be. This experience I'm living, I'm doing my best to explain.
Where's Jesse? Jesse's gone. I wanted him to see baby Hitler over here and see how he thinks about him.
Jesse's gone. Who's baby Hitler?
Who do you think is baby Hitler? Take one guess of the people on the panel.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that question even came about.
Oh, God.
And the name here is Cynthia, and Charlie Chapchin, instigator, and whether Charlie's the daddy of Cynthia's baby and will he name him Cynthia, it's all a matter of the ad hominems as triggers. Like I said, that's what Paul does on his platform is he uses his platform as a trigger session for a psychological experiment of his own. And so again, coming from the drama panels, it's just a trigger type thing using the ad hominems for my own little project here to help people understand we need to step it up.
What is Senator Shortbus? Heckle-Bus is your baby daddy?
How's your energy doing, Jack?
That's fucked up.
Anyway.
So we have Keith Little as the master marketer, which is, of course, who I am. I'm the one that created all these channels. Heckle-Bus is one of those channels that I created. So it's still same person or same man with multiple different characters or personalities. And this is hopefully a way to show people how to keep their personalities in order so they're not considered as having a psychological or multiple personality disorder.
I sent him, she asked for his link.
It's all about knowing thyself. And in knowing that self, you have multiple different aspects of hats that you wear throughout the day and the different emotions that you come across while encompassing those hats.
And then I was like, sure, I'll get it to you. And I didn't get it to her. And then she texts me and she's like, I really want that link. And I sent it to her, Flo. So who's going live next? Because I feel like
Blessings and grace, Charlie Chap.
And so that little bit there was kind of like a instigation, retaliation type thing. But I hope I put it together in a manner where it looks reasonable and respectful as a creation for this platform to get people to understand what we're doing to each other. Again, I'm not innocent. Now, this next part is something that Paul speaks on and is one of the reasons why I connect with him so well. And to this day, I respect the man. I love him deeply. But in that doesn't mean I have to be accountable to him. I am accountable to no one but my God, my Father which art in heaven. Anybody else that tries to hold me accountable, they're going to get the same damn thing I've been putting out all my life. You ain't my daddy. I'm not going to listen to you. So while I went on his panel, like I said, it was his program there, his triggering is so facetious that I recognize it right away, and I don't have a problem with calling him daddy as a bit non-bit. I understand the falsity of it, the fiction. No one could possibly take an older man and a younger man being in a situation where the younger man's calling him a daddy in a metaverse platform to get a little giggle or a chuckle as being real and true. Because that's all it's for, is a giggle and a chuckle, the trigger session. So it's just like he says, you got to learn how to be de-attached, not attached, disattach. Know that there's really no true attachment to begin with. So what he says here is something that I agree with, and it kind of mirrors a lot of things that happen in my life and the way I see things. But that doesn't mean we are one in the same as he poses. We do operate in an image and likeness in a natural capacity. And that's about the extent of it. When it comes to our thoughts and what we take in and project therefrom are totally different.
Caption, blessings and grace. Who'd have thought little Paulie boy from the short bus and the special ed class on drugs, never really a
there's that short bus reference
group, if you could imagine that.
Heckle-Bus.
Always moving around different school districts, and I don't play well with others.
And I never have either.
That's what they tell me. From humble, torturous, suffering beginnings to blessings and grace, consciousness, awareness, discernment, unconditional love with conditional trust and respect, of course. Almost has to be that way. But
And
it
that's
feels
where
good to
I'll
be me at
disagree.
this time.
And that's one point I'll disagree, because respect is a matter of love. So you can't really separate the two, because if you respect your neighbor, you got to both love him and fear him. Both. You have to know that he is an image and likeness of the very creator that created you out of love and can destroy you. And that's why you should fear him. Same thing with a man. I'm the same thing. I'm a devious motherfucker when it comes to putting a shovel in my hand or a fork in my hand, and you do something against me. I will use those as tools or weapons, whatever I need to. And that's based on a need, not a desire or an emotion.
Can't stress that enough to remind myself, thankful and grateful. Stay faithful. Stay the course. Stay in your purpose and meaning. Stay disciplined in the sense of not just giving who and what you are away needlessly. Needy and wanton, codependent, attached. We nurture this power, this peace, this inspiration within self, and we give that away. Here, day to day, there has to be a bit of a isolation, in a sense. All right, enough of that. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Chapchin, famous silent.
And just so you understand a little bit of this, the character development here, if you notice my personality, you've seen some of the screaming matches and talking over each other. This is a different way to communicate, because I can use the little name tags to communicate without saying a word orally or verbally. I can literally put it in text, and you still hear it. Eyes to see, ears to hear. Eyes to hear and ears to see.
Do you see what they're doing though, Paul? They're such terrible.
Do you see what they're doing?
Do you see what they're doing though, Paul? Do you see what they're doing though, Paul? Do you see what they're doing though, Paul?
So I'll never do a bit or be part of a bit. He's been doing this for 3 days.
3 days ain't shit. We're on 6 months now, brothers and sisters, and it's not going to stop. You can't stop this train. It's a train of profiles and personalities hooked up to each other, one to the next, just like a train. Multiple cars. You got a captain's engine and a caboose. Everything in between, all connected. All of those personalities, keep them in order. That's all you got to do. Know thyself and keep them in order, because you are more than just one. You are everything, just like I am all things. See, for me, I'm not in the universe. The universe is in me.
Numbers are up. This is the guy who said, by the way, he would never do a bit. He goes, I'll never do a bit or be part of a bit. He's been doing this for 3 days.
And I don't think I stated it that way. I'm my intent, if I didn't state it correctly, was I'm not going to be a part of a bit or bit or non-bit that's purely for drama. If I'm going to be a bit of a part of a bit or bit non-bit, it's going to be for comedy. Comedy. Not to hurt people's feelings or anything, but for comedy. And in that comedy, it's me making an ass of myself just as much as everybody else. Because again, like Paul says, I'm you and you're me. I'm not going to deny that.
For 3 days, he's been doing this.
how the adoption process works. Da-da-da. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, boys. That's how it works, motherfuckers. See how that works?
See, that's Snafu getting all excited because SPLS got him adopted. He got all excited. Watch this. See, this is how these things are played. He gets all excited and then gets put down by his own recognition.
Works.
No.
Snafu in the back.
Celebrate the time, come on! Oh, wait.
Yeah, he celebrated because he got adopted. But now all of a sudden, oh, wait.
Better not be a Luna Tommy or fucking Flow State or one of them. Flow State.
All right, Snafu snaps.
So he got adopted by one of those like Flow State. Ian.
Maybe at some point, I mean, I can't even imagine that I would even entertain this idea. I'm a glutton for punishment. We'll have to see what your skills and abilities are and what your willingness is. Presuming you're not creating any value to get the things you need in the meantime. We may have to take care of Snafu Snaps, Charlie Chapchin. If I take care of him, I mean, give him a piece of land and a tent and tell him, well wishes, right? Best of luck.
Absolutely. Take a walk, buddy.
Create or co-create, whatever you can be involved in.
And this was him speaking about this months back about telling Snafu to take a walk. He will never tell his creature to take a walk. That's what he uses as a trigger, one of his main triggers, because Snafu is so off balance. He uses people's psychologies against themselves, against each other. It's a game he plays as a trigger session. Understand what it is, and it shouldn't affect you.
We know we were not going to put him on hash oil detail. That didn't go well last time.
Not at all. He'll end up blowing himself up again. And notice how Daddy Paul is having so much fun here. And this is one of those bits where I'm using the bit itself to help correct myself. Like I said, I used to scream and holler, and I still do once in a while. And that's one of the things I need to correct about myself. So as it says in some of the chat messages, people like Keith a lot more since he's been silent. Well, of course, that's what I realized. That's why I play this bit. It's for me, not to downgrade anybody else, not to play some psychological game on anybody, but to improve myself and still get my message across without having to yell. And look, it comes across much better, I think. Sign language. I don't care if you don't care about me. So may God bless you. And have a good night. Salute. See, look at that smile on him. Daddy's so proud.
Oh, man, I just love those silent films. It's quite a sight to behold. The confusion of the folks who lack discernment. As if,
Thank you.
Know what, though? It's the
I'll
person
check it out.
behind that character. I know the person playing that character.
And I know that brick wall,
they
and
wouldn't
that's
like
why I
the
don't bring her up.
playing.
And see, this is how we tell people are babbling, because she doesn't understand the term person. So she's saying, I know the person behind the character. What is a personality but a characteristic? It's the same thing. So it's basically saying, I know the person behind the person. You can't know the person behind the person if the person is the person, because there's no person behind the person. It is the person. So pay attention. This is the construct of Charlie Chaplin as it relates to my personality and character or characteristic traits. Simple Jack is spot on.
So you could understand that.
Yeah, I think that's it. Can't separate the character from wizard. Well, because I still see wizard.
See, separates the character from wizard. No, wizard is one of the characters. It doesn't separate wizard from the character at all. Wizard is the character, one of them. I am myself. That's a spiritual existence. And Keith Little itself is just a character.
You don't understand how much this character was so anti-American and so anti-system.
Point and nod, Wizard. Shake it, like give.
Absolutely, I am pointing and nodding.
There's a reason why Wizard reflects and resonates with this character. It's not just a dumb like I picked this character, I picked this hair. It's this is Wizard at full Wizard, but good Wizard. Appreciate it and really enjoy it.
But when he ends it, he has to slick that hair over and do the full spear hand hello.
No, I have no problem with that.
This is it, Tommy. He's stuck. We know him as the Wizard is dying, is dead today. Wizard
how little you know.
Is reborn.
Absolutely. Flow state down below. I bet Tarek is feeling nostalgia for when he could comment in chat. I wonder. Can't remember that context.
I don't know. But if you start off a cartoon.
Wizard upped his game with the sign language. I was intending to do so. Like I said, it was a matter of trying to correct myself. And in being silent, I'm trying to figure out different ways to express myself through different languages. Sign language is one of those. Like I said with the text on the titles and stuff, I can still speak to the audience by changing the name and the little white block below it. I can still send messages.
In character, you end up a cartoon character.
That's what he wants.
But his character.
Absolutely. If you see the character for what the character is, then what are you going to put on me? See, that's what this world lives in, is characterizations. So look at the character. Relate it to me. I am relative to it. How am I relative? I'm the one that created it. Since Wizard stopped talking, people started universally liking him. You'll notice in this entire thing, it's all smiles. I'm using that to get rid of that anger, and that is part of the violence that comes through the voice. That's been a very hard thing for me all my life because I've been telling people, you ain't my daddy. I am so tired of people telling me what I can and can't do, how I can and can't do it. That's limiting my talents to go beyond the limits that everybody else does.
Character that I first met him is one that I just distasted. Like I don't
like. You embrace.
First impressions are very important. And notice the other two are agreeing. Tommy says likewise. He didn't like me either. But pay attention. Even Tommy realizes things.
You embrace change.
And I don't like it. And so I'm not going to like any other character he plays.
And that's why I don't let you up, Cynthia. You got it now.
Oh, God, Tommy.
See what progress Wizard is facilitating?
See what progress Wizard is facilitating. That was my intent. And I can only hope that other people than Tommy see that. Because as the community looks at Tommy as if though he's delusional, I think he sees more clearly than a lot of people. He just has a funny way of speaking on it. He kind of exceeds some of those boundary limits that I was just talking about myself, but he does it in a different psychological sense. And I think that's because he doesn't have those psychological boundaries that most people have.
Next video, you're going to be in the streets.
I am in these streets. I'm calling shots in these streets.
Oh, just remember that.
Master marketer. Keith Little. I'm the one that gets to put the mark on things. None of the other characters get to. Just me. I am the master of my mark. I am the master marketer. Producer, L. Peril, the first pen name I created as it relates to Keith Little telling the story of his life. And L. Peril tells a portion of that story of Keith Little's life by the research that L. Peril has done. Wyrd Wyzard is the clip artist that clips the words up, cuts them to pieces, and shows you what they are for what they really are, from the beginnings, from the construction to the evolution to what we have now. Director, at Paul Jr., because he's the one that turned me on to this psychology platform, the drama platforms, to help figure things out as I already know myself. Now I've gotten a deeper understanding of how other people think and react to each other on this metaverse as a heroic imagination platform where they're projecting their image and likeness of what they see the world as, and almost every last one of them seems to think that they're the king or queen and has the authority to tell other people what they can and can't do or say. And that's when those ad hominems come in, because they get their feelers hurt because other people won't accept that. They get tired of people like me saying, "You're not my daddy." And the sound stage, Heckle-Bus. That's the sound mind of the guy on the short bus that knows something maybe everybody else doesn't. And he's not ashamed of speaking it, rightly dividing the word of truth. He is boldly speaking what he ought to. And ain't no one going to stop him. Ain't no one going to get on his bus and try to distract him from where he's going. Ain't no one else going to run that gas pedal. Ain't no one else going to steer the steering wheel. Ain't no one else going to hit the brake. Ain't no one else going to shift the gears. Join us next time in Chinchilla Chin-Ups, a new chin-up calendar. And the chin-up calendar is going to be the people that I've come across in these platforms, like Tommy, Flow State, Cynthia, Jack, everybody, where I see where they've been downgraded by other people and stand their ground and hold their chin up despite anybody else's reality. I have to give everybody their own reality. That's the subjectiveness. However, at the same time, there's an objective reality that a larger portion of society might see that might say that you're wrong. And that's what we need to do in learning thyself, knowing thyself. We have to understand that we may be wrong. We are no one perfect. So this is just brought to you from my echo chamber. This is my subjective reality. So if you have an objective point of view, I'm open to it. Please respect it. Please respect it. This is the issue of respect. I respect everybody. It's a part of love. And part of love, in my sense, is getting to know each other. I know myself. I love myself. And if I want to love my neighbor as myself, I need to get to know my neighbor. Therefore, we need to communicate. We need to get to know each other. That is process of love, the knowing. Please respect it. So feel free to leave a comment and understand that I appreciate all complaints, concerns, comments, and compliments. I need it all. Even things like I've said before, I'm learning from Jack because he's the one that pointed out that I'm such an angry old man. And other people piped up and said, yeah, he is. So I learned from those complaints. I learned from comments. I learned from compliments. I learned from concerns. because I'm open to them. Please become just as open. The next thing I want to talk about is authors' rights as it comes to this authors guild and what I'm constructing and trying to develop. So this is from Wikipedia. It says authors' rights is a term frequently used in connection with laws about intellectual property, your personalities. Your personalities come from your personal views when it comes to family, politics, commerce, religion, entertainment, culture, travel. Those are your own personal perspectives that you hold subjectively according to your own individual or independent observances. They are none alike. Every last one of them is different. And that's you. That's what makes you who you are. The term is considered as a direct translation of the French term droit d'auteur, also German Urheberrecht. It was first 1777 promoted in France by Pierre-Augustin Caron de Beaumarchais. I don't know if I'm saying those right, probably murdering them, but who had close relations with Benjamin Franklin. Created his own money. He had his own press and publishing office. A lot of things this man did. It is generally used in relation to the copyright laws of civil law countries and in European Union law. Union. Authors' rights are internationally protected by the Berne Convention for the Protection of Literary and Artistic Works, as I've said many times, and by other similar treaties. The Treaty of Berne is a treaty, and it is the one that protects your ultimate exclusive rights as an author to either publish it for free or make a commercial element out of it. Pay attention. Author is used in a very wide sense and includes composers, artists, sculptors, and event architects. In general, the author is the person whose creativity led to the protected work being created, although the exact definition varies from country to country. Authors' rights have two distinct components, as I just mentioned: the economic rights in the work and the moral rights of the author. And as I said, and this is as far as I'm going to go with this, we're going to shut it down here shortly. But as I said, when it comes to the your exclusive rights to publish things for educational purposes, it's the moral thing of being able to assert that First Amendment or the Bill of Rights, first article of Bill of Rights, the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech is my right to do so. But inherently and more proportionately, the greater right is the right of other people to know. And as a moral obligation, if I know something is not right, I not only have the ability to publish it and let others know, but I have the authority and the duty. I have a duty to let other people know. So my freedom of speech and freedom of expression is upheld as a collateral duty to everybody else. That's my public service. I am a public servant in that sense. I have a moral obligation. Let no tongue prosper. So when I see somebody creating a false debt against my brother, where they're convincing them to sell off their property, I have a right and a duty to come forth and redeem them. And again, this goes to that parable of teach a man, or give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. But again, the inherent, more proportional and greater right is the ability to teach that so others know. And this is relative to the parable of the talents, where if you bury the talents of your education and knowing, you are burying God's money. That's what God's money is your talents. Your actions speak louder than words. And then when you're able to express those actions through some kind of language, it doesn't matter if it's oral, verbal, literal, text, whatever, some kind of expression. That's it. So anyway, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to do here is not as a controversial thing to put anybody down in a psychological way, but as a matter of process of theology, physiology, and psychology of myself. The spiritual aspect of my heavens, the thoughts, the things that I think of theologically as it relates to religion, and then the psychology or the physiology, the physical being, the man, and how it's constructed, and how it puts forth the personalities through the psychology. So we have to think about this stuff and realize we are playing a psychological, we are involved in a psychological affair in our interactions with other people and animals, other creatures. Even the tree out there seems to have some kind of psychological effect on some people. You call them tree huggers. That's their psychology. That's part of their personality, the character traits. So again, think about this and start learning to know thyself and those personalities so they can't claim that you're incompetent because you've got a sound mind that's able to issue those different personalities according to the hats you wear and the emotions that are involved in those hats. The hat that I wear as a father involves different emotions than the hat that I wear as a boss, but the both are concerned the same thing. The boss and father is kind of like the head of the house. One's the head of your private house, one's the head of the corporate house, the business. So, yep. Or to combat, I am not part of your war. I come from a force majeure, a greater source, a greater power, where you get your powers of combat. I'm not going to stoop to your level. For to defeat one's opponent without fighting is of supreme excellence. So I want everybody to think about this and know that I'm still playing that bit non-bit, and it's mine, and I get to do it for comedy and education, not for psychological abuse or triggering. That's my intent. Education, learning, freedom of expression, to be able to speak to other people that have a right to know. And so I'm not just expressing myself and you get to know me, but you get to know the research. You get to know my life. You get to know how I discern the words. You get to understand my personalities. And you get to understand why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. My Authors Guild, my authority of putting forth my personalities. And I hope you guys see them and see how they're colorful, and they use the English language as a tool to create artistic things that other people will see a beauty in. That's all. And with that, I want to remind everybody, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Again, there's a PayPal link down below for anybody who wants to share some love. Always appreciated. And you guys know me. I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. That's to say, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That's on you. So may God bless you and have a good day. We'll see you later. Bye now.
your mouth.